Yeah, Ikora doesn't really want you hearing this. Zavala, he really doesn't.
But, we're doing it anyway, you know? Tune in to the Cloak and Echo.
Hey, hey! Look what the ghost dragged in. Welcome back to the Cloak and Echo, the only broadcast the Vanguard hasn't shut down yet. I'm your host, Buddy, Hunter, Risk Taker, Cloak Enthusiast, and today we're blowing open tower secrets, questionable fashion trends, and why Zavala sighs every time I walk into a room. So grab your favorite subclass and your second favorite snack, because it's gonna be a long transmission.
Buddy, you have 6 strikes flagged in the tower comms log.
That's fewer than last week. Improvement. All right, first up in the tower rumor rundown, Ikora's been spotted late at night in the Hall of Heroes. No one knows why, but the tea is steaming. Word is she's got a hidden archive full of pre-collapse poetry and, wait for it, Warlock fan fiction.
That last part was from a Titan message board.
Yeah, and those guys wouldn't lie, probably. Speaking of questionable information, did you hear about Lord Shax's new Crucible medals? Sources say he's adding one called the Buddy, awarded when you miss every shot but somehow still win. I'm not sure how to feel about that.
That's definitely not true.
Let me have this one, Little Light. Meanwhile, Saint 14 reportedly challenged Shax to a dance-off in the hangar after a Crucible loss. No footage survives, but I have it on good authority that a Warlock cried. And get this, the Cryptarchs are in a full meltdown over a cache of Golden Age fashion magazines found in the Cosmodrome. Rahul hasn't slept in days trying to decode why anyone would wear neon parachute pants. Some mysteries are better left buried, if you ask me.
The Cryptarchs are actually studying valuable historical artifacts.
Yeah, historical artifacts with terrible color coordination. Oh, and hot gossip from the tower cafeteria. They're finally adding a new item to the menu after 87 years. It's, drumroll please, spicy ramen with a slightly different broth. Revolution in culinary arts, folks.
The cafeteria staff work very hard.
And I appreciate every noodle. Real talk, though. The Vex have started probing deeper into the Luna anchor sites. If you're headed that way, pack extra ammo and don't touch the weird cubes. One of them turned a Titan's ghost into a jukebox last week. We still can't get it to stop playing moon jazz. And that's not even the weirdest part. The Vex constructs are showing unusual behavior patterns, almost like they're searching for something specific. 3 fire teams reported seeing Vex units digging through lunar regolith rather than, trying to convert everything to their network.
Vanguard Intelligence is classifying this as a Priority 2 investigation.
Which in Zavala speak means concerning but not immediate apocalypse. Still, keep your eyes up, Guardians. Something's got the time-traveling milk robots extra focused, and that's never good news for the rest of us. Last thing on Luna, dead orbit ships reported unusual gravitational anomalies near the Hellmouth. Could be nothing. Could be the pyramid stirring again. Either way, double-check your jump jets before heading that way.
Need your cloak cleaned after a hard strike? Try Eva Levante's Light Fresh Laundry. We remove 99.9% of hive slime, fallen grease, and even that stubborn taken glitter.
Hello, darlings. You wouldn't face the darkness in filthy armor, would you? Our patented light-infused detergent reaches between the molecules to extract even the most persistent Vex milk stains.
Did your last raid leave mysterious growths on your chest plate? Has your helmet started whispering ancient curses? Eva's team handles it all.
We even offer a special service for hunters who've been dragged through every swamp on Nessus. Your cloak deserves better, Guardian.
Light Fresh Laundry, proudly not responsible for vanishing exotics or armor that develops sentience after cleaning.
Remember, darlings, a clean Guardian is a classy Guardian.
Paid for by the Coalition for Cloak Preservation and hunters who hate musty armor. And yes, I'm a founding member. You try spending 3 weeks in the EDZ without proper laundering. Okay, story time. Last week I took a Vanguard strike with a Titan named Boomstick and a Warlock named Harold? Howard? I don't know. They all float. Mission directive: infiltrate Savathun's throne world. Simple enough, right?
The briefing specifically said stealth required, minimal disturbance.
Exactly. Which is why I brought my quietest boots and my most whispery sidearm. Naturally, Boomstick brings a rocket launcher the size of a jump ship. When I asked about it, he just grunted something about insurance policy.
To be fair, the Warlock did bring silencing runes.
Yeah, fat lot of good those did us. First 5 minutes, perfect execution. We're sneaking past this massive group of Lucent Hive. I'm feeling good, like maybe, just maybe, we'll complete a mission without me getting yelled at by Zavala afterward.
A new personal record was within reach.
Then it happened. Boomstick spots this weird hive artifact glowing on a pedestal. Gets this look in his eyes. You know the one? When a Titan's two remaining brain cells start rubbing together to make fire, he yells, "Sun's out! Guns out!" and fires a Gjallarhorn into a wall. Not at the artifact, not at an enemy, at the wall.
The structural integrity calculations were not in our favor.
Wall collapses. Complete structural failure. Turns out it was holding back what can only be described as a night choir practicing their death chants. Full concert attire and everything. Meanwhile, our warlock, bless his scholarly heart, panics and tries to cast a rift.
He cast it directly beneath himself while standing on unstable debris.
The rift hits some weird angle of the throne world geometry and ricochets like a pinball. Next thing we know, Harold Howard whatever gets yeeted straight through a portal we didn't even know was there. Vanished. Gone.
We did eventually find him.
3 hours later, inside out, well, temporarily inside out. Thank the Traveler for resurrection. So there I am, Titan going berserk with rockets, Warlock temporarily dimensionally inverted, and a full choir of knights now performing what I can only describe as the angriest opera in the universe. Zavala's minimal disturbance mission turned into a maximum catastrophe.
We did complete the objective, technically.
Only because the entire structure collapsed and the thing we were looking for landed literally in my lap, along with half a ton of hive architecture. Anyway, moral of the story, never trust a Titan with something labeled experimental, or a warlock who insists on bringing a book to a firefight. And if someone does say sun's out, guns out during a stealth mission, just transmat out immediately. It's not worth the paperwork.
Hey there, dirtbags. Need gear the Vanguard doesn't know about? Come on down to Drifter's Grey Market Special. We got mods that'll make Shaxx question your honour, armour with more spikes than your ex-Guardian's personality, ethically questionable hand cannons that whisper sweet nothings when you reload, emotes you'll regret using in the Crucible, Sparrows with suspicious acceleration capabilities, and a brand new, not haunted, pulse rifle. Probably. Also got a shipment of taken snacks. Don't ask what's in them, don't ask where they came from, just chew. They taste like victory and dimensional displacement, payment accepted in glimmer, strange coins, or secrets about Zavala's morning routine. Ask for the special behind the shipping containers. Password is, the Drifter is handsome.
Drifter's Grey Market. You didn't hear about it from me. And if Zavala asks, I was teaching orphans how to knit when this ad played. And we're back! It's time for Call-In Corner, where I take your questions and pretend to have answers. SFX. First caller, you're live on the Cloak and Echo. What's keeping you up at night besides hive rituals?
Hey buddy. So I'm a Titan main, and I keep getting shoulder charged off cliffs in PvP. Like, all the time. How do I stop it?
Step 1. Don't stand near cliffs. Step 2. Blink. Step 3. Cry, then write a fanfic about revenge. Step 4. Repeat. Maybe try Hunter next time? We have this great invention called jumping away.
But I like punching things.
Then punch the air on your way down, my friend. It's very therapeutic.
That's terrible advice.
That's why they don't call this show the Ghost Actually Helpful Tips. Next caller, SFX.
Buddy, what's your loadout for Gambit? I keep getting invaded and losing all my motes.
Oh, you mean Primeval Regret Simulator 3000? I run Arc Hunter, Witherhorde, and a bow I call Relationship Problems because it's complicated and causes damage over time.
He also hides behind rocks when the invasion alarm sounds.
It's called tactical repositioning, and sometimes screaming. Screaming helps confuse the invader.
It certainly confuses your teammates.
Next caller before my ghost exposes any more of my strategies. SFX.
What's your take on the witness? Do you think we stand a chance?
Mock serious, big, floaty, cryptic, has a face like a tax auditor. 10 out of 10 would not invite to poker night.
Buddy?
Look, the witness is scary, sure, but we've faced scary before. Oryx? Dead? Savathun? Super dead. That one Dreg who kept stealing my parking spot? Extremely dead.
You can't park on the tower's landing pad.
The point is, we keep fighting. That's what Guardians do. Even when the cosmic horror has better fashion sense than you.
That's surprisingly inspiring.
Don't tell anyone I said something meaningful. It'll ruin my reputation. That's all for Call-In Corner. Keep those questions coming, Guardians. Especially you, Mysterious Exo, who keeps asking about Cade's chicken. I still don't know where it is.
I intercepted chatter from deep within the Neomuna cloud servers. A data construct known only as Eidolon has been activating corrupted subroutines. No one knows if it's Vex, Exo, or something else entirely.
Wait, wait, wait. You're telling me there's a digital ghost haunting the systems? Fantastic. I was just thinking we needed more mysterious entities trying to kill us.
This is serious, buddy. The construct appears to be searching for something. It's parsing through pre-collapse archives and leaving fragmented code everywhere it goes.
Like digital breadcrumbs or more like digital vomit?
More like footprints. And it's speaking in old Earth languages, Latin, pre-collapse dialects. Some phrases translate to "the answer lies beneath" and "the first light will reveal."
Cryptic, ominous, and vague. The trifecta of "we're all gonna die" messaging.
The most concerning part is that it's adaptive. Each time the Cloud Striders try to contain it, it evolves its encryption, almost like it's learning.
Uneasy. If your toaster starts speaking in Gregorian chant, let us know. Actually, if anything in your apartment starts speaking Latin, just run. Don't be a hero. Unless you're me, in which case, definitely be a hero.
I've sent what we know to Ikora. She's concerned.
Ikora's concerned? Great. That's Guardian speak for apocalypse incoming. Just once I'd like to hear Ikora's mildly amused or Ikora suggests a nice vacation.
Greetings, Lonely Guardians. I am Alan, and I have created LoveLink, the only dating app calibrated to your light signature.
And I am Elaine. Together we will find your perfect match or delete your ghost's memory banks trying.
Our proprietary algorithm analyzes your combat style, favorite subclass, and how often you dance in the tower.
Results may vary. Side effects include awkward crucible encounters and finding your ex on a strike team.
Just listen to our satisfied customers.
Before LoveLink, I was a sad solo hunter. Now I'm dating a warlock who only corrects my grammar twice per conversation.
Swipe left on the darkness and right on love.
Submit your light signature today and receive your first match instantly.
Match found you and Ikora's hairline. They enjoy long walks on Europa and the extermination of the darkness.
Compatibility rating: 87% chance of awkward silence, 13% chance of actual conversation.
Alan's LoveLink. Because even immortals need awkward first dates. And trust me, immortality makes the awkward parts last a lot longer. Look, I make jokes, I dodge bullets, I steal sparrows. But real talk, every Guardian listening, you're doing the impossible. Day after day, fight after fight. Whether you're a crayon-eating titan, a floaty, book-obsessed warlock, or a slick, cloak-wearing legend like yours truly, you're the reason humanity still has a shot. So keep showing up, keep loading in, and when the sky cracks open again, you better believe I'll be right there with you. Cloak flapping in the wind, guns blazing, probably yelling something stupid like, "This is what happens when you mess with my ramen supply."
That's surprisingly inspirational.
Don't get used to it. Being sincere gives me hives. And not the fun kind that explode when you shoot them. This is Buddy signing off from the Cloak and Echo. Same weird time, same questionable frequency. And no, I still don't know who keeps stealing my ramen, but when I find them, there will be a reckoning and possibly a strongly worded letter. Depends on my mood.
Transmission ending in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, and if you see Zavala, tell him I wasn't anywhere near the speaker's old chambers with that bucket of glimmer paint. Completely unrelated incident. Buddy out. Guardians, ghosts, and whoever's currently dancing at the postmaster, welcome back to Light It Up, the Kindergarten survival show that asks, did you reload before we started this episode? I'm Buddy, hunter, cloak model, and guy who just dismantled the same pulse rifle 5 times.
Because he keeps getting the same one and forgetting.
It's called Optimism, Echo. Today we're going to break down everything you need to know about staying alive long enough to become the legend you were resurrected to be. Whether you're fresh off your first resurrection or just trying to figure out which end of a fusion rifle to point at the enemy, we've got you covered. All right, you got guns, great, but you've also got slots, kinetic, energy, power. No, they're not for organizing snacks.
Though that would be more helpful for some Guardians I know.
Look, I was hungry during that Vex strike. Anyway, let's break this down. Your weapon slots are basically your Guardian's 3 hands. And yes, I know we only have 2 hands. Work with me here.
Kinetic weapons go in the first slot. Bullets, arrows, punches with bullets. They don't have an elemental energy, just pure physical damage. Think of them as your reliable workhorses.
Like that Kvostov you probably started with. Nothing fancy, just good old-fashioned lead. These are great for taking down enemies without shields or when you just want something dependable.
Energy weapons are in slot 2, same as kinetic but with elemental flair. Think arc, solar, or void. Great for melting enemy shields and showing off at parties.
Match the shield color with your weapon element and watch shields pop like Cabal drop pods on an unsuspecting fire team. Arc for arc shields, solar for solar shields. You get it.
And your power slot is for the big stuff. Rockets, swords, giant lasers. Use sparingly or just yell YOLO and swing wildly like he does.
I have 0 regrets. Power ammo is purple, rare, and worth its weight in glimmer. Save it for bosses, yellow bars, or that one Crucible player who keeps sniping you.
Remember that some weapon types can appear in different slots. You might find hand cannons in both kinetic and energy slots, for example.
The trick is balancing your loadout. Having all short-range weapons is great until you meet a boss that one-shots you from 50 meters. Maybe pack a scout rifle. Quick weapon breakdown. Hand cannons, space revolvers. Cool factor, 10 out of 10. Accuracy, depends on whether you're a Cade 6 wannabe or actually practiced with one.
They're high damage, high risk. Miss a shot and you'll be reloading while everything tries to eat you.
Auto rifles. Your best friend early on. Point, hold trigger, problem solved. They're reliable, forgiving, and perfect when you're still learning which end of the gun shoots.
Think of them as training wheels with bullets. Great sustained damage, but you'll burn through ammo faster than Zavala burns through his patience with Guardians dancing on his desk.
Shotguns, like knocking on death's door with a thunderclap. Great in close quarters, terrible at social distancing. One shot, one kill. Unless it's a boss, then it's more like 10 shots and run out of ammo.
And don't forget SMGs, for when you want an auto rifle but smaller and angrier. Snipers, for picking off enemies from so far away they don't even know you exist yet. And bows, yes, bows. This is a space war, not a Ren fair, and somehow they still work.
Don't sleep on bows. They're silent, deadly, and look awesome when you land a headshot midair. Plus, there's something satisfying about taking down an alien war machine with a glorified stick and string.
Pulse rifles offer a middle ground, 3-round bursts that balance precision and forgiveness. And fusion rifles charge up before unleashing a burst of energy that can vaporize multiple enemies at once.
Bottom line, try everything. That sidearm might seem weak until you're surrounded by Thrall and need something that fires fast. Every weapon has its moment to shine. Let's talk fire teams. This isn't a solo gig, unless you're one of those mysterious hunters who vanishes mid-mission and shows up with loot nobody else found.
He's talking about himself.
A fire team is 3 players. That's the magic number for Strikes, Gambit, Crucible, and later, Nightfalls. It's like a group project where everyone has rocket launchers and no one wants to do the objective.
The trick is learning synergy. Titans put up barricades and punch things that get too close. Warlocks keep everyone alive with healing rifts. Hunters, well, they make everything look good while doing questionable things in the corner.
We're tactical scouts. Map exploration is crucial.
Is that what you call it when you're off collecting regional chests while your teammates are fighting the boss?
I'm providing a valuable service. Those materials don't collect themselves.
Fire teams work best when each member understands their role. Titans are your frontline defense, big, bulky, and ready to throw themselves between you and danger.
Warlocks are your support class. They'll drop wells, throw healing grenades, and occasionally lecture you about some obscure hive god they read about.
And hunters add mobility and precision damage. They'll clear ads, generate orbs, and disappear right before something needs heavy lifting.
Exactly. Also, if your team wipes, it's probably the Titan's fault. If you win, it was the hunter. That's just science.
And if something weird happens involving space magic no one understands, blame the Warlock. We're used to it.
The most important thing about fire teams, though? Communication. Whether it's chat, voice, or just frantically shooting at something important, find ways to coordinate. A disorganized team is just 3 Guardians dying separately. And now it's time for the Tower Mailbag, where we answer your burning questions about loot, shooting, and why Zavala sounds perpetually disappointed.
Today's question comes from a brand new Guardian in the EDZ.
Hey, buddy. How do I know if a weapon is good? I've got like 12 green ones, and they all look the same.
Okay, first, green means common, trash tier. You'll outgrow them faster than a sparrow driven by a Titan.
Look for blue, rare, purple, legendary, and eventually gold, exotic. Purples are your bread and butter for most activities.
The rarity ladder goes white, green, blue, purple, gold. Each step up means better stats and more perks. Once you hit level cap, you'll basically only use purple and gold.
And don't get too attached to anything below legendary. You'll be swapping them out every 5 minutes during the campaign.
Also, pay attention to stats, range, stability, reload, and perks. A Feeding Frenzy plus Rampage combo? That's Chef's Kiss. A scout rifle with hipfire grip? Hey, dismantle it and move on.
If you're not sure, look for perks that complement each other. Outlaw speeds up reload after precision kills, so pairing it with Kill Clip, which boosts damage after reloading, is synergy at its finest.
And remember, sometimes the ugliest gun in your vault might be a god roll. Don't judge a pulse rifle by its rusty exterior.
Are your light abilities feeling a little dim? Stressed from constantly being shot at by the forces of darkness? Visit Ikora's Mind Garden, now open near the bazaar. Quiet contemplation in a serene environment designed by warlocks for everyone. Meditate, float, ponder the infinite. Side effects may include existential dread, spontaneous void awakening, and the overwhelming urge to start collecting books.
Last time I went, I left with 3 more questions and no answers.
That's just warlock energy. Did you try the guided astral projection package?
No, I got the Find Your Inner Solar Light session. Spent 30 minutes staring at a candle until it exploded.
That wasn't supposed to happen. This week only, special discount for Titans. We know meditation is hard when your solution to everything is punching. First session comes with complimentary crayons and a stress ball shaped like a cabal head.
I heard they're opening a hunter section too.
Yeah, it's just a dark corner where you can brood dramatically while sharpening a knife.
3 quick tips so you don't get booted from the team. I like to call these Buddy's Basics Don't Be That Guardian. 1. Pick up orbs. Those shiny little light nuggets charge your super and make your ghost proud. Plus, they're literally begging to be collected. Don't be the Guardian stepping over free power. 2. Don't shoot your power weapon at your teammates' back, even if it's funny, even if they deserved it, even if you're just testing something. Trust me, no one finds rocket-propelled friendship as amusing as you think.
He's speaking from experience.
3. Use your super before you die, not after. You'd be amazed how many folks hold on to their super like it's a limited edition Sparrow they're afraid to scratch.
Including him frequently.
I was waiting for the perfect moment.
The perfect moment isn't when you're already surrounded by 17 Hive Knights.
It's called dramatic timing. Besides, nothing says I've got this like activating Golden Gun when you're at 1% health.
And nothing says I don't got this like the death animation that immediately follows.
And that wraps episode 2 of Light It Up. You now know your loadout, you've got a fire team, and you're ready to blast through the system like a caffeine-powered Sparrow.
Just remember to actually apply what you've learned. We've seen too many Guardians who listen to advice and then immediately jump off the tower anyway.
It's a rite of passage.
Next time, what's a strike and why you shouldn't hide in a corner the whole time, how Gambit makes you trust no one including yourself, and why Lord Shaxx never uses his inside voice, ever.
Until then, Guardians, I keep your barrel hot and your dance emote ready.
And please, reload.
They hear you, always. Even here on Tower Radio.
Welcome back, Space Cowboys and Cosmically Confused Killers. You're listening to The Cloak and Echo, the show that broadcasts from a questionable console behind Banshee's workshop. I'm Buddy, hunter, cloak model, ghost whisperer, and your guide to the tower's darkest corners. Tonight, we're diving into the void between light and memory with our episode, Dead Ghosts Tell No Tales. Because let's face it, in a world where death is just a temporary inconvenience, what happens to the Guardians who never came back?
I feel obligated to point out this might be morbid territory.
Says the floating resurrection battery who's seen me die how many times this week?
17. The Cabal tank incident counts as 3 separate deaths.
See? Death's just an occupational hazard, unless you're forgotten. So grab your ghost, dim your lights, and settle in. We're about to unravel some spectral threads that the Vanguard archives conveniently misplaced. Word from the tower's low-level channels, Osiris might have accidentally pinged a deep sight node inside a thrall nest. He's fine. Physically, that is. Mentally, though, still reading like a broken warlock textbook.
That's hardly news. Osiris interfaces with questionable technologies every Tuesday.
Yeah, but this time Saint 14 had to physically drag him out while he was muttering equations. Even Ikora looked concerned, and that woman could watch the sun explode without blinking. And get this! There's a new covert mission on Nessus, completely unlisted. No name, no briefing, no official Vanguard stamp, just a blinking node and a cryptic message. If you remember us, come find us.
Which you immediately investigated without backup or authorization.
Would you expect anything less? The mysterious, the forbidden, the probably gonna kill me? That's basically catnip for hunters. So naturally, I went. Transmatted down to coordinates that weren't even on my nav system. Found an old Golden Age research site, half consumed by Vex architecture. Looked abandoned for centuries.
The ambient light readings were unusual, fluctuating in patterns I've never documented before.
The whole place felt wrong. You know that feeling when you walk into a room and instantly know something bad happened there? Multiply that by 1,000. And what I found inside wasn't friendly, wasn't alive either, but it remembered being both.
Perhaps we should explain what we...
Not yet. First, let me tell you what happens when Guardians go missing and nobody bothers to look. Because something's happening out there in the dark spaces between missions. Something the Vanguard isn't telling us about.
The Cloak and Echo will return after these messages.
Balance, focus, discipline. These are the foundations of not just our light, but our bodies as well. Now, downward. Dog.
My knees don't bend that way, Instructor.
Then you adapt. Your enemies will not wait for you to find comfort. Neither will this pose. Now, everyone breathe in the essence of the traveler. Hold it, channel it through your solar plexus, and release.
Is it normal to feel like my spine is trying to escape my body?
That is merely your physical form transcending its limitations. Good.
Join Zavala's Sunrise Yoga every morning before the daily reset for Guardians who need to stretch more than just their power level.
Sponsored by Dead Orbit's Essential Oils. Smell like the end of days, even if you survive them. Available now at Eververse. Use code OrbitNamasti for 10% off your first purchase.
So I went into that mystery node on Nessus. Alone. You know, classic hunter mistake. But somebody had to check it out, and Vanguard wasn't exactly rushing to investigate.
I advised against it, for the record.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to make the bad decisions around here. The air was wrong from the moment I transmatted in. Vex tech completely rusted over. Conversion fluid dried up. Plants growing through milk pools that should have been active. The strangest part? No enemies. None. Not even corpses. Just silence. Like something had swept through and cleaned house. I followed the signal deeper into a chamber the Vex had converted from one of the Exodus ship's old cargo bays. And then I found them. 3 Guardians. Burned out, bodies crumpled around a ghost. A Titan still clutching a hand cannon. A Warlock face down in what looked like scan notes. And a Hunter propped against the wall, like they just sat down to rest. Their ghost was flickering, just whispering the same thing over and over. We never left. We never left.
The Ghost Core was severely damaged, trapped in a recursive memory loop.
I don't know what happened, but someone sent them there and left them. Their tech was pre-Red War. They'd been there for years.
Based on decay patterns and ambient Vex temporal interference, I estimate they died approximately 37 months ago.
That's not a Vanguard op. That's something else. There was no extraction, no recovery team, just 3 Guardians sent to die.
I archived its logs. Encryption predates the Red War, possibly Golden Age AI intervention, extremely sophisticated.
And someone is scrubbing the records. When I got back to the tower, I checked the Guardian registry. They weren't there. No record of their deployment, no mission logs. The weird part? I recognized one of them. A hunter who used to run strikes with Cade. But when I mentioned her name to Ikora, she looked at me like I was speaking Hive. If you find nodes with no data, don't ignore them. If you hear whispers from empty comms, don't dismiss them. Those ghosts were Guardians once, and something is erasing them completely. I've stored the coordinates in an encrypted channel, sending them out to any listeners who might remember these Guardians. If that's you, be careful. Whatever got them might still be waiting.
Today's special, Ether fried noodles with genuine Nessus spice. Makes your mouth tingle and your ghost worried.
Is it supposed to be glowing?
Only the good parts. Try our famous Radiolaria buns. Perfectly safe once solidified. Probably.
I'm detecting trace amounts of Vex milk. That can't be legal.
And for brave ones, my brother's totally safe fusion core dumplings. Extra spicy. Makes your insides feel like Servitor explosion.
This is literally melting my gun.
Yes, working as intended. Sign of quality.
Elixir Street Eats, now at the Tower Bazaar and Luna Refugee Settlement. Because flavor should be dangerous, and digestion should be an adventure.
Medical transmat services sold separately.
All right, Space Wanderers, time for my favorite segment, Call In Corner. Tonight's topic, ghost stories. Not the spooky campfire kind, but the actual my floating little light buddy did something weird kind. Lines are open, so don't be shy. First caller, you're live on the Cloak and Echo. What's your ghost story?
Hi, I'm a warlock from the Praxic Order. Been around since, well, long enough. I saw my ghost die once. Like, actually die.
Wait, what? But you're still here talking to me, so...
It was during a hive ritual. They trapped its light, somehow. Took 3 days to reboot. The shell was intact, but whatever makes a ghost, that was gone. When it came back, it wasn't the same.
How so?
Now it flinches every time I reload a shotgun. Won't go near hive runes. Sometimes I catch it scanning the room while I sleep, like it's looking for threats. Been that way for years.
That's trauma, buddy. Get that ghost therapy, or at least a hug. Ghosts carry a lot for us. Maybe we should carry something for them too. Next caller, what's your tale?
Designation XO22, Hunter. I was exploring deep in the Cosmodrome in a section that predates the wall. Found a ghost there, shell-cracked, eye dim.
Another dead ghost?
Not dead, just lost. It was whispering names, a list over and over. None of them were mine, but one matched my old fire team leaders who died in the Red War. Final death, no ghost to bring her back.
Was the ghost searching for a guardian?
No, it knew these guardians were gone. It was remembering them, like a prayer.
What did you do?
I sat with it until dawn. Then it just floated away. I tried to follow, but it phased through a wall I couldn't breach. Sometimes I go back, but it's never there.
Sometimes the light remembers what we don't. Ghosts carry our history, all the versions of us that died and came back. And maybe the ones who didn't. Anyone else feel like they need a drink? No? Just me then. Let's take our last caller.
They're not all yours.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Some ghosts aren't made by the Traveler. Some are made by us.
Well, that wasn't cryptic and terrifying at all. Ghost, did you trace that?
Signal origin was everywhere and nowhere, like it was coming from inside our transmission.
Perfect, absolutely perfect. This is why I drink Elixir Moonshine. Speaking of cryptic ghost situations, my own little light has been doing some digging, haven't you?
I have, and what I found is troubling.
More troubling than our mysterious caller? Great, just what my nerves needed.
I accessed a forgotten Rasputin subnode last week, titled Echoes of Breach 77. The data was fragmented, but I managed to reconstruct parts of it.
And?
The data shows multiple Guardian resurrections that were never reported to the Vanguard. Off-books, off-grid.
Guardians die and come back all the time. That's our thing. What's weird about that?
The ghosts responsible for these resurrections, their light signatures were anomalous. They were different. Their light was synthetic, mixed with Braytech code.
You're telling me someone made fake ghosts?
Possibly, or corrupted them into something new. The data suggests Clovis Bray was experimenting with light manipulation during the collapse, finding ways to program it.
Program the light? That's not possible.
And yet, the logs show it happened. These modified ghosts didn't just revive Guardians, they rewrote them.
Rewrote? Like what? Their memories?
More fundamental than that. Personality constructs, decision matrices, free will parameters. The logs refer to it as probability alignment. These Guardians were being nudged towards specific outcomes without knowing it.
So they were puppets, thinking they were making their own choices?
The line between guided and controlled is very thin. Some entries suggest these Guardians were deployed for field testing, special operations. Many never returned.
How many are we talking about?
The records show 17 subjects. Only 3 returned to the facility. The others vanished. But here's what's troubling. The program didn't end with the collapse. There are access timestamps from much more recently.
Someone's continuing Clovis Bray's work after all this time.
The question is who, and how many Guardians out there aren't what they seem?
Every month, Zur brings you mysteries, weapons, trinkets, the occasional scream. Subscribe to Zurbox and receive a curated selection of forbidden curios direct from the Nine.
Is this... Wait. Is this a severed Cabal tongue?
Yes. Last month's box contained a taken particle suspended in amber. Next month, perhaps a fragment of Ahamkara bone. Perhaps a timepiece that ticks backward. The 9 decree variety.
But what am I supposed to do with a Cabal tongue?
The possibilities are numerous. Some subscribers report prophetic dreams. Others, spontaneous knowledge of dead languages. Results may vary.
Zerboski, it sees into your soul and ships for free with promo code TentacleFace. Disclaimer, the Vanguard strongly discourages collection of paracausal artifacts. Side effects may include temporal displacement, speaking in riddles, and growing additional eyes.
Ghosts. We joke about them, call them little light bulbs. Floating Rubik's Cubes with anxiety, but they're not just our spark plugs. They're not just the machines that bring us back. They remember what we forget. Every death, every life, the names we used to have. And sometimes they carry secrets we were never meant to see. I don't know who sent those Guardians to die on Nessus. I don't know why their records are being erased. But I'm gonna find out. Because if we don't keep each other honest out here, if we don't remember the ones who vanished, then we're just playing games while the system burns.
Buddy, transmission window closing in 30 seconds.
Already? Fine. All right, Guardians. Time to reload, recharge, and maybe ask Ikora really nicely to let me into her locked archives. Until then, watch your 6, hug your ghost, and if you hear a dead signal whispering your name, maybe don't answer. This is Buddy, signing off from the Cloak and Echo, where the frequency's always haunted and the mic is always hot. Europa weather? You guessed it. Blizzard again. Snow's coming in sideways, there's stasis energy crackling in the wind, and Clovis Bray's creepy AI is still giving motivational quotes with murder vibes. Tip of the day, if it's glowing blue and humming, maybe don't touch it. Unless you want to become a Guardian popsicle. Some Guardians recharge with Crucible, some with Gambit. Me? I do my best work sitting in a ramen shop, boots off, ghost muted, watching 2 Titans argue about whose knees are more tactical.
They were comparing thigh armor.
Exactly. Tactical thighs. See, that's the kind of stuff you miss out on, Ghost, when you're too busy scanning planetary anomalies or, saving the universe.
Someone has to do it.
Oh, I know. And I appreciate it. I do. It's just, sometimes I think we get so caught up in the big picture, we forget to appreciate the little things, like the subtle art of Titan trash talk, or the way the light hits the traveler just right in the morning, or the smell of fresh synth ramen.
You're incorrigible.
Hey, I'm just saying, a Guardian's gotta have balance. You can't just be all explosions and heroic poses all the time. You gotta have a little downtime, a little tower time, Soak it all in, observe, judge, maybe steal a fry or 2 when no one's looking. You feel me?
I'm detecting a significant drop in your light levels when you're not actively engaged in combat.
That's just Zen, Ghost, pure Zen. I took the day off. No patrols, no bounties, no saving the solar system. Just me, a questionable cup of synth chai, and a seat on the postmaster's steps. I was just gonna zone out, recharge, maybe watch the pigeons fight over a stale engram crumb. Guardian stuff.
You spent an hour staring at the wall.
Yeah, it stares back. Real meditative. Makes you think, you know? All those layers of history, all those battles.
You were asleep.
Exactly. Dream meditation, advanced technique, very Hunter.
You took it immediately.
I always take noodles. It's like in the Hunter code. Or maybe it's just basic survival instinct. Either way, you don't turn down free noodles, especially spicy ones. This guy, right? He's got this whole tower of noodles and he's just shoveling them in, like he hasn't eaten in a week.
Perhaps he hadn't.
Could be, but he offers me some, and I'm not going to say no. We sit there side by side, just chowing down on noodles, watching the ships come and go. Didn't even exchange names. Just two guardians, united by a shared love of questionable tower cuisine. That's what I'm talking about, Ghost. Human, or exo, or awoken connection, in its purest form.
You drooled on your cloak.
Details, details. The point is, it was a perfect day off until, well, you know.
Have you left 999 shader bundles in my inventory? I am not a hoarder. You are. Cleanse yourself.
Tower Storage Solutions by Kadai 5530. Tired of juggling planetary materials and obsolete weapons?
Yes, I am, and so should you.
Ask about our new Glimmer Vaults and Engram compression services.
Claim your items, or I will repurpose them efficiently.
There's this one bench in the tower. You know, the one by the ramen stand. Sit there long enough and someone will spill their entire fire team drama. I call it the gossip bench. Ha.
Last week, someone confessed to dismantling their clan founder's exotic boots.
That's war, Ghost. Pure, unadulterated war. What can I say?
And today? What sort of terrible behavior have Guardians stooped to today?
Someone faked a disconnect to avoid doing Nightfall. I respect it, honestly. We've all been there, right? Also overheard. Ikora might be starting a book club.
No!
Yeah, let that sink in. The Hidden Reading Romance Novels.
The Cabal Who Loved Me. Ooh, that's a good title. I'd read that.
5 stars. Would read. Definitely would read. Maybe I could get an early copy, you know, through sources. Hobbies. Yeah, Guardians have them. What else are we going to do with all this free time, eh? Besides saving the world, of course.
I'm still waiting for you to take up knitting.
Ugh. Don't push it. Anyway, some Titans brew tea in their bubble. Yeah, I've seen it. Earl Grey, very civilized. Warlocks, they paint Nova bombs. Like, on canvases? I don't know the details, but it's a thing.
It's therapeutic.
Is it? Well, me? I build tiny ships out of gunsmith scrap.
You glued a fusion core to a mug and called it art.
Modern art, Ghost. It exploded in a meaningful way, didn't it? It was supposed to be abstract. Exhibit A, see?
That was from your latest art piece.
Also been trying tower parkour. Climb up, jump across banners, land behind shacks without alerting his voice lines. Almost got it last week, you know?
He shouted anyway.
Always does. One day I'll win. I just gotta be quieter, like a shadow. A really stylish parkouring shadow.
Guardian, are you feeling uninspired? Do your enemies laugh at your weakness?
Motivation from the mouth of the Crucible. Lord Shax's motivation tapes.
Get up, engage, throw more grenades, then super slam your fears and win.
Now available in cassette, engram, and tower loudspeaker format. Side effects may include increased confidence, excessive yelling, and an uncontrollable urge to throw grenades.
In weird tower sightings, a hunter petting a baby hive.
Wait, really? A baby hive? Like a thrall-sized thrall?
Smaller. Kinda cute, actually. Had like these big, buggy eyes.
Huh, unexpected.
Yeah, then there was this cloaked warlock selling crystals labeled moon juice.
Moon juice? I hope no one actually bought that.
Claims it enhances your paracausal perception.
Definitely snake oil.
Oh, and a Titan who saluted every engram that dropped.
Really? That's dedicated.
I'm thinking maybe a little too dedicated.
Maybe their ghost was offline?
Nah, just polite.
I don't know, feels like a glitch in the Matrix.
Okay. How about this? I saw Saint 14 racing a kid in the courtyard.
Saint 14? Racing? Who won?
He let the kid win, then paid him in glimmer.
That's actually wholesome. Saint 14? Wholesome?
Told you, even Titans have hearts, sometimes big ones, mostly made of bubble foam.
Amanda Holliday's Spa Garage. Oil changes include free foot rubs.
Because even Guardians deserve downtime.
Sometimes you need to just sit, chill. Let Zavala frown from a distance. Not every day's a firefight. Some days are ramen days.
And bench gossip days.
Right, we don't just save the system, we live in it, so live well. This is the Cloak and Echo. Stay chill, Guardian. Next week, we're going fishing. Yes, really. Breaking. It's hot. Still hot. Always hot. Buddy here on Mercury, sweating through my cloak. The lighthouse is fine, Osiris is brooding as usual, and the sun is doing its best impression of a giant murder flashlight. Bonus, the Vex are cranky and time's a lie. Hope you brought SPF 1 million. Buddy here, reporting from the sparkliest place I've ever almost died in. Dreaming city skies are misty with 100% chance of taken drama. Random ascendant portals keep opening, and I swear I saw a thrall recite poetry before exploding. Curse level? Moderate but climbing mood? Ethereal with a side of, I think the trees are judging me. Welcome back, Kindergardians, to Light It Up, the only show where we throw Nova bombs at bad advice and golden gun headshots at bad habits. I'm Buddy, your favorite cloak-wearing, emotionally available hunter. And with me, as always, is the ghost with the most.
I'm contractually obligated to be here. Let's just get through this before your ego overcharges your arc capacitor again.
So today we're talking subclasses, your main source of space magic. If your guns are the paintbrush, your subclass is the whole dang canvas.
Each class, Titan, Warlock, and Hunter, gets access to multiple subclasses, powered by either light or darkness. That means you've got a lot of ways to explode stuff stylishly.
You start with Arc Strider as a hunter. Cool. Later, you'll unlock Solar Void and even Strand and Stasis. Each one's got its own super, grenades, melee abilities, and movement tech. Bark, movement speed, lightning punches for those of us who like breakdancing with death.
Solar, healing, burning, explosions, for when you want to be flashy and supportive.
Void suppression, invisibility, and devouring health like a hive worm on cheat day.
Each subclass lets you pick your abilities, different grenades, melee powers, aspects, and fragments. Experiment. Pick what fits your vibe, whether you're a sweaty Crucible gremlin or a chill PvE fireteam hero.
Let's get to the good stuff. Supers. These are your game changers, your big finishers, your I've had enough of this button.
Each subclass has a unique super. Warlocks throw flaming swords. Hunters go full anime with arc staffs. Titans become missiles.
Just remember, use your super wisely. Blowing it on a single thrall is funny, but Zavala might not be impressed.
Once you finish the Beyond Light and Lightfall campaigns, you unlock Darkness subclasses, Stasis, and Strand.
Stasis lets you freeze enemies solid and shatter them into cosmic snowflakes. Strand is all about movement and manipulation, threadlings, grapples, and green stringy death. With Strand, hunters swing like space Spider-Men, warlocks get minions, titans become wrecking balls with ropes. It's amazing.
Hey, buddy, I don't know which subclass to stick with. I like all of them. Help?
First of all, great problem to have. Try them all. Running solo? Void's great for survivability. Playing support? Solar's your healing hero. Need burst damage? Arc or Strand is Chef's kiss. Feeling edgy? Go Stasis and freeze your problems.
Or build around your playstyle. Aggressive, Arc, Sneaky, Void, Tactical, Strand, Annoying, Stasis.
Some hot tips before you dive into the subclass buffet. 1. Don't super into a wall. Trust me. 2. Don't pop your solar healing super and then run away from your team. 3. Strand grapples are not a substitute for intelligence.
And don't forget to equip fragments and aspects. Your subclass is modular. Use that customization.
All right, Guardians, next time you're charging your super, remember, it's not just about damage, it's about style. Space magic style.
Next episode, loadouts, weapons, and whatnot to bring into the Crucible.
This has been Light It Up, the Kinderguardian Survival Guide. Keep it flashy, keep it charged, and remember, friends don't let friends Nova bomb air. If you're hearing this, I'm probably being awesome somewhere. Or dead. Either way, you're tuned to Tower Radio. Don't, screw it up. This just in, the quagmire is still gross, foggy, humid, and full of suspicious glowing puddles that might whisper your deepest fears. Swamp weather, but make it hive. If you're feeling existential dread, don't worry. That's normal. That, or something's crawling into your mind. Either way, get some fresh air. Wait, does this place have air?
Tower radio, huh? Well, let's get weird, Guardians.
Welcome back, light lovers and loot hoarders. You're listening to Buddy's Call-In Corner, the only show where the guidance is Guardian approved, but the judgment entirely mine. I'm Buddy, Hunter, Heartbreaker, and part-time Crucible Menace.
And I'm Echo, the only reason this show hasn't been banned by Zavala yet.
Give it time.
Hey buddy, this is Prism 6 from the moon. So I've been bonding with another Guardian's ghost. They're super chatty, really into Golden Age tech. Now my ghost has started giving me the cold shoulder. I swear it's jealous. What do I do?
Oh ho ho, spicy. You're in a full-on ghost love triangle. Okay, Prism. First of all, communication. Sit your ghost down or float it down and talk it out. Remind them they're your ride or die, but maybe don't gush too much about the other ghost shell mods.
Ghosts don't get jealous, we get protective.
You renamed our ship after that ex-Guardian I teamed with for 2 strikes.
That was for tax reasons.
Hey buddy, I'm HollowSpike92, and I need advice. I play a lot of Gambit, like a lot, and I've been invading so much, my fire team's starting to worry. They say I get this look in my eye. One Titan said I whispered, "Give me your motes," in my sleep. Do I need help?
Yes, but also no. See, Gambit does things to a person. 1 minute you're banking motes, the next you're cackling in the shadows with a truth launcher and a grudge. My advice, take a break. Do a lost sector. Pet a dog in the tower. Reconnect with the light before you become the Drifter's new favorite intern.
Maybe don't accept any strange coins if he offers them.
Unless you're into Eldritch side gigs, then go nuts.
Hey, my name's Flint, and look, this is embarrassing. I may have sent a very detailed love letter to Commander Zavala. Problem is, I meant to send it to Saint 14. Do I fess up or move to Europa and assume a new identity?
Oh, buddy, you flew too close to the light. First, props on aiming high. Both Zavala and Saint are top-tier Guardian crush material. That said, Saint's the romantic. Zavala's the quiet sigh and continue the mission type. You've got 2 paths. Be honest, send a second message explaining the mix-up. Saint'll get a laugh out of it. And Zavala, Hey, maybe he needed a little ego boost, or become a cryptarch, vanish into paperwork, let it fade like a lost shader.
I vote honesty. We've all sent a message to the wrong recipient before.
Yeah, but mine was a crucible taunt to Ikora. Still can't look her in the eye. Another episode, another pile of weird, wonderful Guardian problems. We love to hear them. Whether your ghost is sulking, your heart's confused, or your KD ratio needs therapy, we're here.
Send us a voice message, text ping, or just yell across the tower. towerradiofm@gmail.com.
And trouble finds me back. Catch you next time, Guardians. Stay sharp, stay strange, and don't trust a smiling dreg. You've been listening to Buddy's Call-In Corner, only on Tower Radio 7.
Signal clear. Guardian broadcast aligned. You're on Tower Radio.
Ever yeeted your sparrow off a cliff during a strike? Happens to the best of us. That's why you need Dead Orbit Sparrow Insurance. For just 3 planetary materials a month, we'll replace your ride. No questions asked. Except maybe, have you considered fleeing the system before it all burns? Dead Orbit. We may be pessimists, but we're covered. Want to look edgy without spending all your bright dust? Come on down to Dredgen's Discount Cloaks. We got cowls, hoods, and enough black leather to make a hunter cry tears of cool. Worn by rogues, fashionistas, and drifter types alike. Mention this ad and get a free ghost shell. You're tuned into Tower Radio. Light on, volume up. Need a smidge more sarcasm in your daily life? Well, good news! You can now bring home your very own fail-safe AI companion. She comes with both cheerful and passive-aggressive modes to keep things interesting. She'll helpfully remind you to reload your weapon, monitor your health levels, and of course, question every life choice you've ever made, just like the authentic fail-safe experience. Pick one up today, available exclusively on Nessus. But fair warning, may cause unexpected bouts of existential dread.
Darlings, listen up. When the universe is ending for the 5th time, you might as well look fabulous. Tess Everest invites you to Eververse, where style is eternal and shaders are forever out of stock. Glamour, glitter, and gear that sparkles brighter than your ghost's personality. Eververse, because function is boring.
Risen and ready. Every frequency, every fire team, tower radio, you know, stay sharp out there.
One hunter, one ghost, no filter. Welcome to the shadows. Cloak and Echoes on the mic.
You're locked on to tower radio and like tuned to Cloak and Echo. If it's, you know, off the record, we've got the file.
Welcome back to Light It Up, where the guns are loud, the drip is real, and your survival honestly depends on fashion and firepower. I'm your friendly neighborhood hunter buddy, and my ghost is once again judging my loadout choices, you know?
I judge everything you do, but yes, especially when you bring a blue rarity scout rifle into a nightfall.
Today, we're talking weapons and gear. I mean, if your subclass is your soul, then your guns, man, they are your attitude. And some of y'all need an upgrade for real.
Weapon types come in 3 flavors: kinetic, energy, and power. Kinetic is your raw damage. It's, you know, just pure impact. Energy helps with shields. Think of it like elemental counters. Power is your big boomstick. It's for, well, making things go boom.
Auto rifles, hand cannons, fusion rifles, swords. Whatever your vibe, there's a tool for the job out there. But remember, not all legendary weapons are created equal. Perks like seriously matter. Okay, so picking a loadout isn't just about favoritism, you know? Like, oh, I really love this auto rifle. Nah, it's about function. Are you like fighting swarms of enemies? Go with an SMG. Need range for those pesky snipers? Scout rifle, definitely. Boss damage? Oh man, hello. Rocket launcher, or like a good linear fusion.
And if you're still using a sidearm and a Grandmaster Nightfall, you better be very, very good. Or, you know, very expendable. Just saying.
Oh man, yeah, don't worry, kindergartians. I mean, nobody expects perfection right out of the gate. Just maybe retire that white rarity sniper rifle, okay? Like, just put it away. For your own good.
All right, moving on from guns to the threads. Armor is like way more than just, you know, drip. Each piece, your helmet, your arms, chest, legs, and your class item, they all give you stat bonuses. And like seriously important mod slots.
Oh, mods. Mods are like, they're your power moves, you know? Like, you want to throw more grenades? Mod for discipline, baby. You want to like survive those crazy melee fights? Resilience? That's what you need. Trust me on this one. And, I mean, if you're still wearing the armor from the Cosmodrome tutorial, like, we seriously need to talk. I'm just putting that out there. Yeah, no, seriously. But hey, the good news is you can infuse better gear into your favorite armor piece. So yeah, you can totally look good and, like, still hit like a freight train. Or, you know, a Titan Punch. So, like, you found a fancy legendary weapon. Cool, but does it have the right perks?
Perks are everything, though. Like, seriously. A hand cannon with Rampage and Outlaw? Excellent. One with Hipfire Grip and Eye of the Storm? Maybe not so much, you know?
Yeah, and like, watch out for God rolls. That's Destiny slang for, you know, perk combinations that turn your weapon into, like, a space blender. So, always check the perks, compare your options. Don't just equip whatever has the biggest number, okay?
Okay, so, like, a really good loadout, you know, it has synergy. It's not just a collection of random cool stuff. If your subclass supports grenades, then duh, you should run armor and weapons that boost grenade regen. It just makes sense, right?
Totally, dude. It's all about, like, creating a whole vibe, you know? For example,
a Void Hunter with a glaive? That's like a stealthy menace. You're punching and blocking, going invisible, dropping smoke bombs. It all just clicks.
Or like a Solar Warlock with a fusion rifle. Total radiant support, you're healing your team, creating Witherhorde puddles, and just generally being awesome.
And oh man, an Arc Titan with a shotgun? That's like a kinetic freight train. You're punching everything, shoulder charging through rooms, and just like getting right in their face. It's glorious.
Listen, I like totally get it. You want to look cool. You want to have that perfect shader, those cool looking boots. But if your super fashionable chest plate has trash stats, you're just gonna die looking, you know, really fly, and that's like not helpful for anyone.
Indeed. And there's really no excuse anymore, buddy. Transmog exists. You can make any armor piece look like what you want and still use high stat pieces underneath. So, you know, wear that ugly but powerful chest piece and make it look like your favorite one.
Yeah, that means like no more excuses, kindergartians. Stop blaming your ugly boots when you get wiped in the raid. Fashion and function, guardians. That's like the only way to go. So yeah, that's like a wrap on loadouts, loot, and like looking like a legend. Next episode, we're gonna totally take you into the Crucible, where friendships kind of go to die and like respawns happen super fast.
Light It Up will not be held responsible for Crucible-induced emotional damage.
So, until next time, kindergartians, remember to aim for the head, stay super flashy, and like may your rolls be extra spicy.
You're not supposed to be listening, but here you are. The Cloak and Echo Show on Tower Radio.
Test. Is this thing working? Ghost, tell me this isn't broadcasting to Shax's personal feed again. Last time he sent me a recording of him yelling yes for 45 minutes straight.
I've double-checked the encryption. We're piggybacking on a long-dead Braytech uplink and bouncing it off a derelict Cabal signal tower. Should be safe.
Translation. If you're hearing this, congrats. You found the most questionable frequency in the system. Welcome, Guardians, to the Cloak and Echo, the only radio show brought to you by a hunter for hunters. And anyone else who likes guns, loot, and stories that definitely won't get me in trouble with the Vanguard.
That last part is debatable.
Ignore my ghost. They're just mad I used their shell to open a jar of spicy ramen sauce yesterday. But hey, if you're tuned in, you're either lucky or have questionable taste in radio frequencies. Either way, you're in for a wild ride across the system. No rules, no filters, just the kind of intel you won't hear in tower briefings. Let's kick things off with the news. First up, the Vanguard confirmed what we all knew. The Vex are still doing weird Vex things on Nessus. Warlocks are writing whole dissertations on the new time fracture anomaly. Meanwhile, hunters, we're using it to speedrun lost sectors. Who's the smart class now, Ikora?
Technically, the time dilation is dangerous.
Technically, so is jumping off the tower for fun, but that doesn't stop half the Guardians I know.
That's different. The temporal instability could potentially trap you in a recursive loop.
Yeah, but think of the loot per minute. 3 legendary engrams in 40 seconds is a new record. Worth the existential risk, if you ask me. Ooh, that reminds me. Word out of the EDZ says there's a new gang of Fallen calling themselves the Skyrust Syndicate. Apparently led by a Dreg with a shank strapped to each arm, like knives. Stylish. Stupid. Classic Fallen.
They've been raiding Golden Age bunkers for something specific, not just the usual scavenging.
Right, and get this. My source says they're collecting pre-collapse batteries. For what? No idea, but I'm betting it's either going to explode or try to kill us. Or explode while trying to kill us.
Your source being the hunter you met in that bar who paid you with a rusty sparrow part?
Hey, Drifter vouched for him, sort of. He nodded in his general direction once. Yesterday I took a quick job in the Cosmodrome. Thought it'd be a simple shoot some hive, grab the loot, jet out deal. But nope. Turns out the hive are trying to grow a tree made of chitin and nightmares in a sealed bunker.
It's some kind of fungal anchor, possibly tied to the witness's corruption.
Yeah, I call it the Nope Tree. I threw a Nova Bomb at it. Impressive because I don't even have void powers. And it blinked at me, like eyelids on bark.
That's not anatomically possible. Trees don't have eyelids.
Tell that to the tree! It watched me the whole time. Creepy. Then it started making this weird humming sound like someone gargling while playing a theremin.
I detected unusual harmonic frequencies. They were resonating with certain neurotransmitters in nearby Thrall. Could be a method of control or communication.
Whatever it was doing, it didn't like my golden gun. Set 3 branches on fire and the thing screamed. Not like a person scream. More like, you know when you step on a Dreg's foot and they make that surprise chirp hiss? Like that, but slower and deeper.
I've archived samples for study. The Cryptarchs will want to analyze this.
Moral of the story? Don't trust trees in hive territory. Or better yet, just burn them all down and ask questions later. Hunter problem solving at its finest. Tired of your pulse rifle jamming right when the Cabal War Beast charges? Swing by the tower and let Banshee 44 tune it up. He may forget your name, but he never forgets a weapon. Upgrades, calibrations, and maybe a cryptic mutter about the good old days. All at Banshee's Gunsmith Services. Side effects may include a sudden desire to dismantle everything in your vault. And now, call-in corner. We ask Guardians to send us their burning questions. Let's take a few.
I should note that I've implemented a 5-second delay, just in case someone tries to broadcast tower security codes again.
That was one time, and technically it was Cade's fault. Anyway, first caller, you're on with the Cloak and Echo.
Hi, long-time listener, first-time caller? Is it true hunters just roll around until enemies get tired?
Absolutely. It's called evasion tactics. We studied it in the back of Zavala's Patience. Next question.
You could have given a more informative answer about hunter mobility and strategic positioning.
Could have, didn't want to. Hunter secret techniques stay secret. Next caller.
I ate an engram. Is that bad?
Yes and no. Depends on your light tolerance. Was it at least an exotic?
Purple. Tasted like lightning and sadness.
Ah, legendary. Could be worse. Ghost, any medical advice for our Titan friend?
Engrams aren't meant for consumption. They're compressed data matrices containing matter patterns. But given Titan physiology, you'll probably be fine. Might glow for a few days.
On the bright side, you'll save glimmer on nightlights. Next caller.
My ghost keeps judging my fashion choices. Is there a reset button?
There is not.
Found the sensitive topic. Actually, try complimenting your ghost shell more often. They're vain little things.
Says the hunter who spent 3 hours adjusting his cape in the tower yesterday.
It's called style, ghost. Something you wouldn't understand with that basic shell. Last caller, make it quick.
Any tips for a new hunter in the Crucible?
Jump! A lot! Never stop jumping. If Lord Shax can still see your feet, you're doing it wrong. And remember, your true opponent isn't the other Guardians, it's gravity. Guardian, you work hard, slaying hive gods, resetting the Crucible leaderboard. Again, you've earned a treat. So head to Eva Levante's booth in the tower. Cookies, candies, and other mysterious baked goods that somehow power your super faster. They're holiday approved and traveler blessed. Don't ask what's in them, just eat them and glow.
I've decrypted a data packet. Intercepted Cabal transmissions suggest Empress Kayatl is moving a fleet element back toward Mars. Not open war, but something stirring.
You know, I was going to make a joke about Kayatl's massive ships compensating for something, but last time I did that, 3 Cabal interceptors showed up outside my hideout.
That wasn't a coincidence. Your comm frequency was compromised.
Wait, what?
Moving on. The data suggests they're searching for something. Multiple excavation teams, heavy equipment, Psion divination units.
Mars already gave us Siva, Rasputin, and those tiny chocolate bars from the Braytech vending machines. What else could they want?
Unknown, but these transmissions were heavily encrypted, even for Cabal standards.
Sounds like good loot to me, or certain death. Usually the same thing in our line of work.
I'm also detecting unusual Pyramidian energy signatures near their dig sites. This could be related to the Witness.
Great, just what we need. More cosmic horror. File that under problems for tomorrow's buddy. Before I go, here's a little wisdom from yours truly. Life as a Guardian's weird. One day, you're punching Hive in the face. The next, you're arguing over who gets the last exotic engram. But we're still here.
That's surprisingly profound.
I have my moments. Somewhere between my 15th death today and watching a Kinderguardian try to ride a fallen pike backwards, I realized something.
That you should be more careful?
No. That we're living the strangest, most beautiful second chance the universe has ever seen. I mean, think about it. We died once already. Everything after that, bonus round.
You never talk like this around other Guardians.
That's because I have a reputation to maintain. Can't let people know there's actual thoughts happening up here.
Your secret's safe with the, hundreds of listeners.
Look, all I'm saying is, between the cosmic gods trying to erase us and the Vanguard's weapon balancing patches, we're still light bearers, champions, chosen. We're still fighting.
And sometimes failing.
And sometimes winning. And sometimes just standing on the tower, throwing ourselves off the edge for fun. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. Not even for Cade's old cape.
Now I know you're being sincere.
And sometimes, just sometimes, we're a bunch of resurrected weirdos doing our best to save humanity while collecting cool guns. And that's enough. This is Buddy, the Guardian, signing off. You've been listening to the Cloak and Echo. Same weird time, same questionable frequency.
You actually completed a broadcast without causing an interplanetary incident. I'm impressed.
The night is still young, Ghost. Don't jinx it.
The encryption is dropping. We should wrap this up.
Right. Until next time, Guardians, keep your cloaks dry, your knives sharp, and your excuses ready for when Zavala asks where you've been.
Speaking of which, there's a message from the Vanguard about an unauthorized Sparrow requisition.
And for anyone from the tower listening, I definitely didn't steal that Sparrow. Mostly.
Here we go again.
Darlings, listen up. When the universe is ending for the 5th time, you might as well look fabulous. Tess Everest invites you to Eververse, where style is eternal and shaders are forever out of stock. Glamour, glitter, and gear that sparkles brighter than your ghost's personality. Eververse, because function is boring.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled jams with a special Tower Radio field report, direct from the fire teams in the thick of it. It's time for Reports from the Field with Maverick and Master Mix. Don't touch that ghost.
This is Titan Class 315 Field Handle Maverick. Sector's hot. Cabal skiffs dropping in like they forgot how gravity works.
Yo, yo, Guardians, it's your boy Master Mix, coming at you live from the crater, formerly known as Firebase IO. No, wait, it's still Firebase IO. It just has more craters. Compliments of yours truly and a spicy Nova Bomb.
You also hit our Sparrow.
Collateral damage builds character. You're welcome.
You owe me a new Sparrow.
Fine. I'll name a track after you on the next mixtape. Crushed Chassis Blues, Maverick's Lament.
Not funny.
All right, quick tactical update. We're seeing increased Cabal signal chatter, possible mobilization of a new Shadow Legion splinter cell. Something about Project Gravemind sounded spooky.
They're up to something stupid, and it's our job to stop it.
So we did, mostly. Shout out to our ghost for stitching us back together after that Thresher decided to cosplay as a meteor.
Tactical note. Guardian Resurrection still painful. Would not recommend.
Anyway, we're heading back to the tower for debrief, cool down, and maybe, just maybe, I'll drop a new beat I made from Intercepted Cabal Radio Static. It slaps.
This is Maverick. Field report concluded. Stay sharp. Stay alive. Punch something.
This is Master Mix. Remember, if the beat's thumping, your light's pumping. Peace, love, and precision Nova Bombs.
Well, there you have it. Explosions, mixtapes, and a whole lot of sarcasm. That's Reports from the Field, only on Tower Radio. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor, Synthweave Solutions. When your fashion has to survive a firefight. Hey, Guardians. Welcome back to Tower Radio 7, and you're just in time for Buddy's Call-In Corner, the only segment where we answer your questions with charm, wit, and zero Warlock approval. I'm your host, Buddy the Guardian. And with me, hovering at my shoulder like a slightly sarcastic mosquito,
That's hurtful.
is Echo, my long-suffering ghost and co-host for this space circus.
Don't blame me if your advice column turns into a system-wide PSA someday.
That's the goal. Let's go to our first caller.
Hi, this is Crowfeather42, Hunter, obviously. So, someone stole my favorite cloak out of my locker in the tower. Black leather, green stitching, super vintage. I will throw knives. Just saying, what do I do?
Oh, someone made a huge mistake. You don't mess with a hunter's cloak. That's sacred. You've got two options, Crowfeather. Option 1, peaceful route. File a report with Ikora. She runs things now and can maybe swing a tower-wide cloak check. Option 2, my route. You put up flyers, offer a reward, then sit in the shadows of the annex for 3 days straight until the thief shows up wearing it. You confront them, dramatically.
Or you could just get a new cloak?
No! The bond between a hunter and their cloak is deeper than Warlock lore. Justice must be served.
Hey, buddy. Name's Zella, Titan main. I think I've got a crush on my fire team's Warlock. They always res me first, they quote poetry when we camp between missions, and I caught them sketching me once. Should I say something, or will it ruin the team dynamic?
Oh ho ho, the old Titan Warlock flame. Classic forbidden subclass romance. Look, Zella, you're clearly into them, and if they're sketching you, that's either super sweet or extremely Warlock. Here's the move. Drop a compliment on their bond. If they blush under the helmet, bam. It's mutual. Then maybe invite them to grab ramen in the city. Just you and them. No fire team, no hive.
And if it doesn't go well?
Then you pretend it was a sociology experiment. That's how warlocks think anyway.
Yo, name's Sniper Wolf X, and I gotta ask, why do I keep getting wrecked by glaive users in the Crucible? I'm using top-tier loadouts, my reflexes are tight, but they just slide and stab like it's a cooking show.
Ah, the glaive meta. We've all been there. Glaive users are like angry ballerinas with a grudge. The key, Sen 1P3R, is distance and disrespect. Pulse rifles, skip grenades. Don't let them close the gap. And if they do, emote. Confuse them. Maybe bust out cat ear dance before they strike. Throw them off their rhythm.
You're telling Guardians to weaponize emotes.
Absolutely. The most powerful move in the Crucible is psychological warfare. That's all the time we've got for today, Guardians. Thanks to everyone who called in, and if you've got a question, weird situation, or you're just wondering why your Sparrow keeps catching fire, leave us a message, towerradiofm@gmail.com.
Try to keep it under 3 minutes, and no more questions about how to flirt with Drifter. Please.
He's got a very specific energy, not for the faint of heart. Anyway, keep your knives sharp, your jumps triple, and remember, sometimes the best loot is friendship. Buddy in the cloud, here's your Neomuna vibe check. Light drizzle of digital fog, couple Vex wandering around like confused tourists, and Cloud Striders doing cool flips off buildings. Standard stuff. Visibility's decent, unless you're in the Vex zone, in which case, good luck. Keep your ghosts close and your synthwave playlist closer. Live from the moon. It's still creepy. Buddy here, and it's a real graveyard vibe today. The hellmouth's open, hive are screaming, and the sky is mostly black with a chance of, what was that noise? I'd recommend staying indoors, but let's be honest. If you're in the hellmouth, that ship's already flown. Yo, Guardians, Buddy here with your Cosmodrome Conditions Report. It's cloudy, dusty, and full of weird old Russian tech that's probably haunted. Winds kicking up something fierce out near Skywatch. I saw a shrieker fly backward. Fallen are getting feisty, and Hive are doing their underground rave thing again. So yeah, bring a gun and maybe a hoodie. Guardian, you work hard, slaying Hive gods, resetting the Crucible leaderboard. Again, you've earned a treat. So head to Eva Levante's booth in the tower. Cookies, candies, and other mysterious baked goods that somehow power your super faster. They're holiday approved and traveler blessed. Don't ask